Hey everyone, so today we are jumping right into how generative AI is completely changing the game for customer service. And I mean, we're not talking about some far off futuristic concept here. We're looking at the actual playbook companies are using right now in the real world. Let's get into it. So you've probably noticed it, right? It feels like all of a sudden every company's support line and chatbot has gotten a major AI upgrade. So what's the deal? Well, this is definitely not just some passing trend. According to Gartner, customer service is one of the absolute top places businesses are pouring their money when it comes to GenAI. The real question is, why the sudden gold rush?
And the answer really boils down to this huge shift in the technology itself. You see, for years, AI was, well, it was clunky. It meant these super complex and expensive systems that needed whole teams of engineers to build. But now, we've got large language models. Yeah, the same kind of tech that powers ChatGPT. And these new models are way more accessible. They're cheaper, and they just get context right out of the box. That has basically thrown the doors wide open for everyone.
Okay, so let's kick things off with how this tech is actually helping human agents. Because it's not about replacing people, it's about turning them into super agents with AI as the ultimate co-pilot. Check this out. It's a perfect real-world example. Imagine you're a support agent, juggling like 10 chats at once. Instead of typing out a long, formal response, you can just type a few keywords, something like refund approved, 3 to 5 days. And then, boom, the AI, like the tool from Zendesk, instantly blows that up into a perfect professional email using the company's official info. The agent just gives it a quick once-over and hits send. It's kind of like autocomplete on your phone, but on a whole other level. And, it's not just a one-off thing. Big players like Salesforce are doing pretty much the same thing with their Service GPT, generating personalized replies for the agent. But here's the absolutely crucial part in all of this. There's always a human in the loop. The AI makes a suggestion, but the human agent has the final say. That's how you make sure the information is always accurate. But it gets even cooler. It's not just about writing replies. AI is also becoming a coach in real time. Just look at this. A tool like Amazon Connect's Manager Assist can actually listen in on a live call and give this kind of super specific feedback on the fly. It's not about getting in trouble. It's about seeing an opportunity to make things better, right in the moment. It basically turns every single call into a chance to learn something. All right, let's move on. Because a huge chunk of a support agent's day is spent on stuff that you, the customer, never even see. And this is where GenAI is making some serious efficiency gains behind the scenes. So just take a look at this before and after. After every single call, an agent has to do this thing called after-call work. Type up notes, pick a reason for the call. It's tedious, it's a time sink. But now, tools like Genesys Copilot just listen to the whole conversation and poof, automatically write up a perfect summary and even figure out why the customer called and tag it correctly. All of it, done. Now, that might not sound like a huge deal, right? But just by automating those little tasks, you're shaving off 15 to 30 seconds from every single interaction. But here's where it gets crazy. You take those 15 or 30 seconds and you multiply that by thousands of agents, making millions of calls every year. Suddenly, you're talking about millions of dollars in savings. It's a massive productivity boost that lets agents get to the next person in line that much faster. Okay, and this one solves maybe the single most annoying thing in all of customer service. You know that feeling when you get transferred to a new person and you have to tell your whole life story all over again? Oh, well, a tool like this interaction transfer bot from Verint just makes that problem disappear. It summarizes the entire conversation for the next agent so they can pick up right where you left off. Finally. And of course, we've got to talk about chatbots. For the longest time, let's be honest, they've been pretty frustrating. But GenAI is finally making them smart enough to be genuinely helpful.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're stuck in that endless loop. Sorry, I don't understand. You ask a question a slightly different way, and the whole thing just breaks. Those old bots were basically just following a very simple, very rigid script.
This is where the new GenAI-powered bots are a total game changer. They aren't stuck on a script. They actually understand context. They get the nuance. It's like they have the entire company's brain at their fingertips, so they can answer almost anything you throw at them. And here's a brilliant example of how smart they're getting. Let's say you're in the middle of paying a bill with a bot, and you suddenly ask a totally random question about a different product. The old bot would just break. It would get confused. But a tool like this conversation booster from Nuance is smart enough to detect that you've changed the subject. answer your new question, and then gently guide you back to what you were doing. It just keeps the conversation moving. It's amazing. Okay, so we've seen some pretty incredible use cases that are happening today. But where is all this going? What's next? Well, the whole industry is already shifting into a new phase. If last year was a total feature frenzy, with every company just rushing to launch something new with AI, then right now we're moving into a phase of deep optimization. It's not just about having AI anymore, it's about fine-tuning it to make it work so much better. So, what does that actually look like? Well, companies are getting smarter. They're figuring out that maybe one AI model is great for summarizing calls, but a different one is better for writing emails. They're also letting companies customize the AI prompts to get better results. And maybe the coolest thing is they're building what are called memory graphs. So the AI actually remembers its past conversations with you. That means every interaction gets more and more personalized. So all of this leads to one final, really big question. We're watching AI become this perfect assistant that can summarize, write, and coach as it just keeps getting better and better at all that stuff. What does that mean for the human agent? What will their job even look like in a few years? That's the billion-dollar question the entire industry is trying to figure out right now. Pretty wild to think about. Thanks for tuning in.